Hey guys, Coach Jason. Hope you're all doing well and staying safe out there. So, right now we're at a point where the schools or certain schools are back in play. Obviously, whether it's virtual or in person or a combination of the two. And cross country season hasn't happened, and we really don't know whether it's going to happen at all or whatnot because things keep changing because of what's going on, and that's completely understandable. That said, it's still important to get out there and train. Whether you're a coach or an athlete, depending on what you're allowed to do and so on and so forth. Whether you're at some point are able to hold official practices and so on and so forth. That's you have to work around what's available to you. But I want to go over a 14-day cycle today. This is a cycle that you can repeat a couple times, whether you are a middle distance runner, wants to run some cross country in the fall and then transition nicely into track when it opens, hopefully, or whether you just want to run some 5K or 6K races, even if they're not races, time trials and stuff like that, because I do think it's important to test yourself every so often to stay engaged, to monitor your progress. This is a time where you can really, really just buckle down and embrace the grind and put in a good block of training, because on the other end, when things get back to normal, there's going to be two choices. You can either be fit or not fit. I would rather you be on the side of fit. So this is a 14-day training cycle that I've kind of put together over the last bunch of years. I am a USATF certified coach, former competitor at the high school, college, and post-college levels, and I've coached for the past 2 decades at all 3 levels as well. This is a cycle that I like to incorporate with a lot of my athletes because it's easily followable. It's easy to follow, and it's also easy to repeat by modifying just certain little pieces on the back end. Again, whether you feel the volume is appropriate, that's completely up to you. You modify as you see fit, whether it be higher or on the lower end, based on obviously age, experience, availability, lifestyle, a whole bunch of different things. But this is a cycle that kind of addresses, I incorporate hill, so it adds to the speed power component or the leg power component. Running efficiency, flat, fast running, which again, stride efficiency and speed development, aerobic stuff like tempo runs and progression runs, which adds to your threshold capacity and your ability to handle harder work and longer work, and so on. So it's a multi-level, multi-pace training program, and the more you incorporate a multi-pace training program, the more you're setting yourself up for short-term and long-term success. But this is a great 2-week cycle that you could repeat, and I have it here where I have a second and third cycle, so consider this a 6-week block of training. And right now, with so much uncertainty going on, this is a 6-week block of training that you can easily follow or modify into your own for yourself, for your athletes, and then test them on the back end or test them along the way. But it's a great way of getting repeatable workouts, and you can modify or you can kind of repeat, obviously, and see how they're progressing each time you do it, whether it be longer or faster or whatever it may be. But this is a great 2-week cycle. So let's go to it, okay? Let's get to it. By the way, if it's your first time to the channel, welcome. If you're a coach or an athlete and you just like a lot of detailed training programs, make sure you hit that subscribe button because this channel is for you. Take a look at the 100+ videos that are out there already. And the video after this, I'm gonna do this 2-week cycle for distance runners, okay? Particularly if you want to run some 8Ks and 10Ks, or whether you're in college and you're going to be training for that in the fall, and so on. So that's going to be the next video. So if you want to see that, make sure you hit the notification next to the subscribe button as well, so you don't miss it. Okay. So I circle Tuesday, Fridays, because that's generally where I have the hard quality days for this particular cycle. Again, modify as you see fit. Okay. So let's get to it. The first week. Okay. Day 1. Monday, easy 6 miles. Particularly if you're in school, I like to start the week off with an easy run. I generally don't like doing hard Monday workouts if I don't have to. Okay. Generally like to ease into the week, particularly with academic load or whatever it may be, or if it's if you're working and it's a long day at work. That's why I always like to kind of give an easy day on Monday, and it's generally whether it be after a Sunday long run or something like that. It's also a good way of promoting recovery too. Okay. Again, you can add core and strength and things like that at however you see is most appropriate. Okay. Tuesday, workout day. W to warm up 2 miles, D/S, drills/slides. By the way, I'm sitting down because I don't want you listening to a headless coach. So, and then we do an 800 meter at tempo pace. Okay, now keep with me. I'm going to get back to that. Then you take a 4-minute active recovery, and then you do 8 by 1 minute uphill runs. Okay, with a jog equal down recovery, you're focusing on good form, attacking the uphill, staying upright but still leaning into the form, leaning into the hill. Nice jog, easy down recovery. Also leaning into the hill slightly as you go down to stay perpendicular to the hill. Because every time you lean back on a downhill, you can put some undue stress on your Achilles. You want to avoid doing that. Okay. And then a cool down of 2 miles on the back end. Now, let's get back to this. 800 meter at tempo. What does it do? It elevates the heart rate. Okay. Gets the body more prepared to handle the meatier part of the workout. And again, 8 minutes of total running, not a ton, but again, remember we're going to repeat this and add volume to that each time. And not every workout needs to be long. All right? How do we know what the tempo pace is? Well, if you've seen my other videos, I've done a video on a 1 mile time trial and what it tells you about your fitness. And then another video on how to set the appropriate pace training ranges for everything based on what you've done at the 1 mile time trial. Okay? I'm going to put them in the description down below. If you haven't seen them, make sure you watch them, okay? And watch the whole entire video because I explain everything from beginning to end. Don't pause and write things down and then skip to the next slide or whatever because you're going to miss important details. And I don't want you to miss important details, right? It's important, right? So, 800 meter tempo elevates the heart rate. Let's just say it's 3 minutes here, okay? Gets the heart rate up and you take a 4-minute active recovery, then you get to the meat of the workout. The second cycle, okay, actually I'll go over that in the back end, okay. Wednesday, 8 to 10 miles, from an easy to a steady pace progression. Again, the 1 mile time trial tells you what your pace ranges are for easy runs, steady runs, and so on, okay. I break it down: easy, steady, tempo, threshold. Those are the 4 kind of, aside from race pace and speed, like much faster running. Those are the 4 major paces, okay. And then on the back end, 5 by 100 meter strides with a jog equal recovery. Kind of flush the legs out and get you back on the fast, flat running after you're doing the hills the day before. Okay. Thursday, 6 to 8 miles easy. All right. Friday workout, 2 mile warm up drills and strides. Now you're gonna do 2 by 200 meter efforts. Okay. With a jog equal recovery, and this is going to be essentially at your tempo or threshold pace, based on what you run in the 1 mile time trial, okay? Let's just say it's at threshold pace. Now we do a 3 mile progression run. You know, I generally, depending on how experienced or fit you are, I start the progression runs essentially. I break it down a little bit differently from a tempo run. Tempo run is a continuous hard pace at your prescribed pace range. You can do a progression run, let's say the first mile is at steady pace, the second mile is at tempo pace, the third mile is at threshold pace. Threshold pace is generally about 10 minutes per mile faster than a tempo run. So it's not too crazy faster, but you should be able to handle a run like that. And as you go on, as the run gets longer, you start to modify it a little bit. But that's a kind of good way of breaking it down. But again, work with the pace ranges, okay? Not everybody's pace range is going to be the same, which is why I always emphasize the 1 mile time trial, because once you get to the appropriate pace ranges, you know, if you have people trying to hang on for dear life with the faster folks, they're not going to recover the same way that the faster folks would, and vice versa, okay? So the recovery component is very, very important. Everybody needs to be training at their own appropriate pace ranges so that they can continue progressing along while recovering the way that they should be recovering, okay? Now, 2 mile cool down, okay? Saturday, long run of 10 to 12 miles, and 5 by 50 meter strides afterward, just to kind of get the legs turning over when you're already fatigued from the long run. Saturday, an easy 4 mile shakeout. That's the first week, okay? Now, let's go to day 8. Easy 6 miles again on Monday. Tuesday workout, 2 mile warm-up drills and strides, and 800 meter at the tempo pace again. 4 minutes of active recovery. Okay, so you get the heart rate elevated, which kind of makes the meat of the workout a lot better. And then you go 12 by 1 minute hard and 1 minute easy fartlek. So a minute hard running and then a minute of easy running after each one. Okay. That can be on the flats, the rolling, grassy area, wherever you see fit. But this is a great way of complementing that with speed development. They're both speed development. This is more of a leg power component. This is more of a true speed development. Okay, 2 mile cool down on the back end. 8 to 10 miles easy on Wednesday with 5 by 50 meter strides. 6 to 8 miles easy on Thursday. And then Friday, 2 mile warm up drills and strides. 2 by 200 meter efforts. Again, let's say at a tempo pace. This is a tempo run to help you lock into the pace. And the reason why I like doing these is to help you kind of lock into a pace before a tempo run or a threshold workout or whatever it is, so that you're not having to use part of the actual workout to find the paces. This helps you find the paces prior to that, so you can enjoy the whole benefit of the workout. Sometimes you may need a 400 or 3 by 200s, whatever it is. Okay. So you do a 3 mile tempo run at the prescribed pace range, and on the back end you take 4 minutes of active recovery, 4 by 300 meter efforts at about 3K down to mile pace, with a 100 meter jog recovery, cool down 2 miles. Right. Then the long run here is 12 to 14 miles on Saturday, and then Sunday's the off day. Since the off day is here, I added a little bit to the long run. Okay, so you see 2 long runs, good easy 2 days of recovery in between each workout, speed development, strides, hills, threshold type stuff, tempo running. This is what the 2-day cycle looks like. Okay, now it's repeatable. Okay, so you can repeat it the same way the next two weeks. Okay, if you want something that just consistent you can follow. Now, what I do here is I modify the workout a little bit. So let's say the second cycle, weeks 3 and 4, okay, you go from 8 reps of 1 minute uphill runs to 10 reps. You add 2 reps, okay? And then the third cycle, you go to 12 reps, okay, which is weeks 5 and 6, okay? Whether you're running them at the same pace or slightly faster, it's a sign of progress. You're adding to what you're already doing over time. And it's not like you're going from 8 to 20. It's a gradual increase, okay, to give your body a chance to adapt. Okay, for the Friday workout, so you have a 3 mile progression run, cycle 2 or weeks 3 and 4. We bump it up to 4 mile progression run, okay? And then weeks 5 and 6 or cycle 3, we bump it up to a 5 mile progression run, okay? Same kind of run, just slightly longer, all right? Again, you could repeat the same 3 mile progression run, just try to run it faster. It's completely up to you what you feel like you need or your athletes need. Some of them might need the same run slightly faster. Some of them might need to go a little bit longer. Okay, and that kind of boils into your more strength-oriented runners, your more speed-oriented runners, and so on. But it's still a great way of progression runs are very, very good at helping your ability to handle harder work over time. And it's always good to simulate getting progressively faster throughout a run or a workout, to help you kind of simulate that, or finishing strong in a race as well. Okay. Second week of workout, okay, the Tuesday workout and the second cycle, again, weeks 3 and 4, we go from 12 reps to 14 reps. So we add 2 reps. So 14 times 1 minute hard, 1 minute easy. So for 28 minutes of total running. Okay, but only 14 of them hard. And then the third cycle, we bump it up to 16 reps. 16 times 1 minute hard, 1 minute easy. Okay, that's the fartlek. Friday workout, okay, cycle 1 obviously is a 3 mile tempo run, cycle 2 with 4 by 300s, and then cycle 2 is a 4 mile tempo run, but we're cutting back the speed development component on the back end. So we're going from 4 by 300 to 4 by 200, okay, so it's a 4 mile tempo run, 4 minute active recovery, and then 4 by 200 meters on the back end, let's say 3K down to mile pace with a 200 meter jog recovery. Okay, so as the tempo gets longer, speed reps get a little bit shorter and faster. Okay, and then cycle 3, weeks 5 to 6, you bump it up to a 5 mile tempo, 4 minute active recovery, and then 4 by 150 meter efforts with a jog equal recovery. Okay, they can be all hard, or you can do progression 150s. I talk about these a lot too. Progression 150s is you float up 50, you stride 50, and you sprint 50. So each 50 meter increment gets faster to simulate changing gears at the end of a race. Okay, it's also a great way of doing it. All right, so this is my 14-day layout. Let me know what you think. And again, we feel it's beneficial. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Even if you don't plan on subscribing, if you hit that thumbs up, it's really, really helpful and it's greatly appreciated. that's what the layout looks like. Again, it's easily repeatable. Tuesday, Friday workouts. It shows consistency. You have 2 long runs here and an off day. All right. An easy run after the shorter long run and an off day after the longer long run. Okay. So you get two recovery days workout, 2 recovery days workout, 3 recovery days workout. So there's always at least 2 recovery days, sometimes 3, in between hard efforts. Okay, which allows you to spread out things, recover properly, and train. Get a good bout of training over an extended period of time. And by incorporating off days as well, you don't have to worry about or depend on a drastic peak or taper later on. You can train and recover simultaneously. Okay, so that's another benefit of the training program as well. So let me know what you think. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. It would be really, really helpful to the channel and greatly appreciated. And again, if you have feedback of your own, put them in the comments. I always welcome dialogue from coaches and athletes. And I try to help everybody as much as I can. And again, I learn from other coaches and athletes just as much as they learn from me. So I want to make this into one of the better running channels out there, one of the more detailed running channels. Okay, and if you look at my training programs from middle distance all the way up to the marathon, they're fully detailed by the day, by the week, by the month. I don't spare details. So I want you to learn as much as possible so that you can formulate your own training programs or help formulate those plans for your athletes. So with that said, be safe and look out for my next video, and I'll talk to you then.